Our friend, the world famous Richard Toccato is here with us, and thank you so much for reaching out to Richard. He's telling us all the time about how many listeners are reaching out and saying, "Hey, show me about that refi, and let's do some stuff like that." That's the way you put it, though. Show me about that refi.
Show me about that refi.
What you got about that refi? So the cool thing is Ace has said, we have a lot of options, and we have I'm doing refinances for people. We have people down in Greenville, North Carolina. We have them all at the beach at South Carolina. We have them in Charlotte. And the main thing is to refinance, make their finances better, take the stress of every month. If I save them $700 a month, $800 a month, it's a big deal for them.
Yeah, it's a real big deal. $700 a month. That's fantastic. And again, we've talked about this before. Richard's a broker. That's how he gets more options than a bank. He can do more. Just go to homewithrichard.com to get started. Homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies. Hey, it's Ace, and for a long time, we've told you about Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic, and how phenomenal a job they did helping me with my left wrist. Well, this is Neil. Neil Simler's a member of the Ace and TJ Radio family. Neil, you took the free consultation to have them check out your elbow and talk about what happened just when you went for the free consultation.
They were very straightforward and let me know that they weren't going to treat any of my ailments if they weren't 100% sure that they were going to be able to effectively help my issue, and never once were they pushy with trying to get me to spend more money and do the higher end shots.
Now 3 months later, how do you feel?
I'm 95% better, if not 100%. It's just been one of the best decisions I've made. Do yourself a favor, get out there as soon as possible.
Set up your free consultation today at acetj.com/neogenics. It's Neogenix. Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic.
Our nation's second president, John Adams, always slept on the left side of the bed. He believed this would increase his chances of having positive dreams and a more successful next day. That's why every mattress we sell here at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress includes a left side.
And for those that prefer waking up on the right side of the bed, our mattresses come with one of those too.
This President's Day, you can save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic sets. Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
Welcome to TJ's Podcast.
Here we go. Another edition of the show where no topic is off limits. We will go in any direction we choose. And the only rule is, if it's interesting to me, it's interesting to you. So fresh vacation material, even though I'm not on vacation yet. I'm doing this ahead of time, so you will have fresh material while I am on vacation. I don't really know why I'm on vacation, to be honest with you. I know for years, Ace and I would take a spring break week. When we had kids, we do stuff with the children. But we don't have kids anymore that are in school age, so we still take a spring break week. I don't know why. But anyway, I'm putting in the work, as the kids say, putting in the work for you. And if you don't watch the video portion of this, you only listen to the audio, you're really missing out today, and probably more days this week, by seeing the vivid purple that is just popping onto the screen from my LSU hoodie. Even if you're not an LSU fan, being able to see the vibrant purple just popping, that would be good. That'd be good for you. Why I say you probably see it more than just today is because I'm recording several of these segments all at one time. So there you go. No magic in this. No secrets. No man behind the curtain letting you know everything that's going on. Okay. I found this article that's interesting, and remember, if it's interesting to me, it's interesting to you. Just said that a few minutes ago. And it is from Business Insider, which I don't know so much about Business Insider all the time. but this is a particular article I found to be interesting because it does have to do with me a little bit. It's 7 signs that someone just isn't a good friend, no matter your history. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I've had so many friends that do me wrong, and I thought that this was my good friend, and then it came down to it, and then they showed their true colors and all. I'm not going to go into all that because I look at it when I say it's a personal connection to me, is that I really don't think in a lot of cases that I'm a good friend to people. Of course, there are some people that I do, good friend things for. And if they were to, ask me to do anything, I would do it. But my wife tells me all the time, you're not a good friend. And I have, my whole life I've had just like a small group of really good friends. And then, I'm sweet to everybody, as you can imagine. I have a great, wonderful old soul. And I'm very kind to people, and I'm sympathetic, and I don't like to see people's feelings get hurt and things like that. But as far as being an active, on top of somebody, good friend, I don't think I would categorize myself as that. Okay, so let's go through this list. Now, this is an article where it was contributed to by clinical psychologist Dr. Miriam Kermayer. Okay? And I'll just skip to the 7th. I don't need to go through all the background and everything of her work and stuff. Number 1, sign that someone is just not that good of a friend is they take way more than they give back. One of the most important aspects of friendship is a sense of balance or equality. We don't want to feel, though, we're scorekeeping or counting the minutes, but there should be this spirit that each person is able to contribute as much as they want to. A friend might communicate by talking more, for example, but if you should still feel like they ask you questions and are interested in your life. So this one doesn't relate to me because I don't ask anybody for anything, I don't find myself in a situation where I have a friend that does way more for me than I do for them. Now, from a guy's perspective, from a man's perspective, we don't count things really when it comes to our friends. We don't look at it like he listened to me and he was concerned about me and he asked questions about how I'm doing, things like that. That's a women's issue. Those are women's issues. Not saying they're wrong. It's just the difference. Men look at it like he helped me move, so I owe him one. That's a good friend right there. He came help me move. He took me to the airport when my wife couldn't take me. I had this golf weekend. He lied for me so I wouldn't get in trouble with my wife when I was gone to play golf and I told her I was working. Those kinds of things. That's the way men judge friendship. Number 2, they use quote unquote brutal honesty to criticize you. All right, that's a sign that they're not such a good friend. Now, I completely agree with that one because people can be jerks to you and then think that it's okay. They can say whatever hurtful thing they want to say to you, but they think it's okay when they go, I'm just being honest. Well, just being honest is not always the best way to go about it. For example, you'll hear people say, Well, if you don't want my opinion, don't ask me for it, because I'm going to tell you what I think. I don't have a filter. People who say, I don't have a filter, when they're discussing things about telling the truth to people, that usually means that they're jerks. Okay? Because if, I think my wife's not, I don't think my wife is beautiful. My wife is beautiful. Everywhere we go, people talk about how beautiful she is, and they have her whole life. She's been that person where people stop. You are so beautiful. Your smile is so, the whole thing. But she comes to me and she says, how does this outfit look on me? And I don't think it's very flattering to her. And if I said, oh my God, that looks awful. You look terrible in that. Please don't wear that out today. Go change before we go to lunch. Okay, that's just being honest. But if I said, well, I don't know that that's really working for you today. I think, I don't think that's the best color for you, or something like that. Or you look great in that, but you have other things that I think would fit better with what we're doing today. Anything to spare somebody's feelings. Now, I'm not lying to her, but because I care about her feelings, or let's say my friend Handsome Michael. If Handsome Michael comes out to for us to go out on Saturday and do our thing that we do called Small Town Adventures, and I look at him and say, dude, what is up with those shorts? Don't you have any better shorts to wear than that? Then that's brutally honest, especially when he didn't ask, and it makes you a jerk. So it therefore makes you not a good friend. So in other words, if you don't take your friend's feelings into consideration, then you're not a good friend. There you go. All right. Old man reading glasses back on. We continue. They don't respond well to feedback. Okay. Another really important part of a solid friendship is their ability to take feedback. When you share that something makes you uncomfortable, something they've said, or are they receptive to that? Are they willing to take accountability, or just hear you out in a way that allows for constructive conversations? That's like a typo in there or something. Now, I think this is a little bit of a slippery slope, because if I do something that has offended someone, then I want to apologize as quickly as it's pointed out to me. Or if I realize it later, like, oh, you know what? I hope they didn't take that the wrong way. I will come back and apologize so fast. And most of the time, it's like, I didn't even think of it that way. You're fine. It's fine. But we all have those friends, or have had those friends, that every little thing hurts their feelings. And they have to come and go, I don't like what you said yesterday when we were at the baseball game. But what did I say? We were out there for 4 hours. What? When you said that about, only idiots don't prefer peanuts salted in the shell. Well, I prefer dry roasted peanuts in a jar. And that was just, I think, over the line on your part. So you got to constantly be going around saying, I'm sorry. So there's a happy medium. You know what? That's a good way to, people say that all the time. Happy medium. I love that. Because I used to wear a size medium shirt, and I was much happier back then. Yeah. So that was a happy medium. But I digress. So yeah, you want to be able to take someone's feelings into consideration when they tell you did something to upset them, but you don't necessarily want to have to walk around constantly on eggshells, saying, I'm sorry. They rarely initiate communication. Now, this is where I fall short as a friend. I'm not much on constant communication. I'm not a chit chatter. I'm not a, I got 15 minutes in the truck. Let me see who I can call and say hey to. I just passed somebody on the road that I knew. Let me call them and talk to them. I'm not that type of friend. And if you're going to judge the value of my friendship because of that, then we really shouldn't, we don't see eye to eye anyway. Now, my brother-in-law, Chuck, who lives in Louisiana, he is that person. He will pick up the phone and call his friends. He does that thing, like he passes somebody on the road. He go, "Hey, was that Brian? Let me see what he's up to. Hey, buddy." Call him immediately. See somebody in a parking lot in the store as he's going in. He'll see him in the parking lot. Wheels his truck around, pulls up beside him as they're, getting their stuff into the truck. "Hey, buddy, what's going on? How y'all been?" He knows everything about everybody. He's interested in everybody. He's a genuinely friendly person. I'm not that way. But he and I are friends, even though we're family. We have to be, around each other because we married sisters. He doesn't, even though he's that way and I'm not, he doesn't hold it against me and say, "Oh, he don't ever call me. He don't ever do this. He's not friendly. I don't like." It's not that type of situation. My brother, I call him Todd. He is one that likes to talk to people and chit chat. "Let's go see what he's up to. Hey, you remember this guy? Let's go talk to him. You went to school with him." I mean, like, no. But my wife she'll always tell me that that's bad on my part, that I don't initiate communication with my friends as much. But what does she know? And number 5 is, no, it's not. There's 7 of them. Duh. Number 5, they don't take no for an answer. That's a sign they're not a good friend. Like they don't respect your boundaries. I can get that. Okay, well, here's one for you. And this is mainly for the ladies. If a friend doesn't take no for an answer, and you agree with that makes them where they're not as good of a friend, how about if you've ever had a friend who says, "I don't want a birthday party. I don't want anything done for my birthday this year." I don't know a single woman, maybe it's a generational thing, I don't know, because, the women I know are old pretty much, like I am. But if one of them says, "I don't want to do anything for my birthday," the rest of them get together and plan a surprise party for her. I don't get it. I don't understand it. The first time I was ever witness to this a friend of my wife's said birthdays, it's not that she was, mine's getting older or whatever. She's like, "Birthdays have never been a big deal. I don't want that kind of attention. I don't want a birthday party. Let's just, a few couples go to dinner or something like that if y'all want to do something for my birthday." My wife and another one of their friends plan a big surprise party for this woman. Probably 50 people there at my house. And I kept saying, "She said she doesn't want a birthday party. She says she doesn't want a party." Did you not hear her? She was adamant she didn't want a party. Well, we've got to do something. And I think once that she sees everybody here and all that, she'll be glad that we did this. And I was like, "Okay, well, don't say I didn't warn you, because I bet you she's going to be mad." Turns out she comes pulling up in my driveway. They had gone and rented a red carpet to roll down there. for her and her husband to get out of the car and walk up to my house, up the driveway on a red carpet. Everybody's standing out in the yard, welcoming her in, signs, balloons, everything. And I was like, oh, this is going to be nasty. And you know what she did? She started crying. Oh my God, this is so wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm like, what? What are you doing? You told them specifically, I don't want a party. They threw you a party bigger than you could imagine, and you're so touched by it. They completely went against your wishes. And that's one of the rare times in my life where I looked at it and go, wow. For once, I didn't know where the woman's mind was going to go, because most of the time I know everything there is to know about women's psyches and where they're going and how they're going to get there and all that. Not this time. Freaked me out. So, on the other hand, a guy says, I don't want to party. Gets thrown a huge surprise party anyway. He's not going to start crying and say, I can't believe you did this. I love it so much. He may be mad, but he can't show it. He's got to act like he's appreciative of it anyway. Because if he says the truth, which is, I told you I didn't want a party. Why is there a party? I begged you not to throw me a party. Then he becomes the jerk. You see, he becomes the ass. It's not fair. So maybe the take no for an answer thing really is a sign that you won't take no for an answer, is a sign that you're not as good of a friend. Or some people look at it like it's a sign that you're an even better friend. Who knows? Let's get through these other ones here. They gossip in a way that tears people down. Oh. I'm not even putting my old man glasses on to read the rest of this little segment, because I figure it's saying, because if they'll tear other people down behind their backs, they might tear you down behind your back. And one thing to point out about that is that there's no other way to do something than from behind somebody's back. You can't do anything from in front of their back. Just thought I'd throw that in. But, it kind of makes sense. But then, I don't know, people love to gossip. I mean, they really do. So you're going to judge whether or not somebody's your friend as to how much they gossip about somebody who's not as close to them as you are. And I'm sorry, but I am thinking about women in this. Women's, closest friends, I don't think have to worry about that much. But if you're not on the tight circle of friends, then yeah, all of you have to worry about it. People gossiping about you in front of your back. And this one sounds like some psychological, psychiatrist, psychologist bullcrap. They're not interested in your growth. Okay, the way that's phrased sounds that way, but I get it. If something good happens to you, they don't celebrate with you. They act jealous or competitive or stuff like that. And that makes sense. So I agree with that. Okay, well, judging by this, I guess I'm not really that bad of a friend at all. I don't really have a whole lot to improve upon, which is not surprising. I mean, you could look at any part of life and say, well, where does TJ need to improve? And most of the time, it would be nowhere. He's got it pretty locked down, wrapped up. It's good. All right. That's it. Thanks for watching and listening and doing and loving and all of that. We got more tomorrow. Love you. Bye.
Serving the world. It's TJ's podcast.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months, 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.
Winter is here, which means you're just going to stay inside and not do anything fun and exciting, right? No, that is wrong, because this year you're going to go to acetj.com/Gaston and see all of the incredible things that you can do right now in Gaston County. Everything is laid out for you, from things to do, to restaurants, to bars, to shopping, to unique weekend activities. And we'll get you ready for the spring and the summer with a list of all their great festivals. Find all of this and much more at acetj.com/Gaston.
If you're so frustrated because you're having to run around all the time, you're so busy, you feel like you're not getting your family something great to eat, then you need Culver's. It's the perfect thing for you. Always made to order, fresh, hot ingredients all day, every day.
And not only do they have the freshest ingredients all day, every day, but they are a part of the community. They're proud to be a part of the Indian Trail community, where they're under new ownership. Belmont, University area, Salisbury. Make them a part of your daily routine. Make it your new neighborhood spot. Short waits for the freshest food in town. Get details at acetj.com/Culver's.